Hello, I now want to show you how you can use the material editor for rFactor 2. You can already open your web browser, but before you can open the material editor, you have to start the dev mode and go on track. I will do that now. As an example, I will use the small grass objects that are around of the track, where you asked if they can be made darker, that they better match to the grass that is on the normal grass areas. And don't worry about my driving style. I use the keyboard in that mode. Here we have the grass objects. Okay, now when you can see your object, what you want to edit, you tap out of the dev mode and open your browser and open the link that I will send you in the mail. Then you get open this. Now you open the search. Normally cannot be done with Control plus F, and search for the material. This material is called grass lines material. Now it's found here. Click on it, and now it will be opened in the material editor. You can see the used texture here, but the used shader is the diffuse shader with one texture only, which means T0 here. But we want to use the IBL shader, and we use the IBL standard shader in this case. Okay, now you can see this section with this shader configuration, where I would remove the metal rough map, because that is not needed for the grass, so that only the albedo map, the specular map, and the normal map are left here. Now you can see that you can select the UV, that means the mapping channel for each texture. I don't know how it can be made in Blender. In 3ds Max I sometimes use or map the things similar to the channels that are used in the shaders as default to get the best result, but normally it also should work on the other way around. If you can do that in Blender 2 or have done that, you can leave everything as it is. If not, I would suggest to use UVA, that is the basic mapping channel for all textures. Okay, now when you scroll down, you can see your config changes must be applied. Click on applied, and now you can see that the the texture is gone here in the object, and you have to, with the new shader applied, you have to scroll down to the button, and now you can see here the three texture slots. And this object, or this material, uses the texture plant line. As you can see, I have created a quick specular and normal map just to fill the three slots. Okay, you can open. Now you see the basic texture is again displayed here. Then we add the specular map to the second slot. Plant spec, and the normal map to the third and last slot. Okay, now we have all three maps attached here, and now we can manipulate this whole thing however you want. Normally you can, yes, ignore this. Metallic is not in use because we don't use the texture. Roughness, sometimes you see something, yes, a little change you can see. The most important things is this field, material adjust, where you can, for example, because you wanted to have that grass more similar to this darker grass, you can manipulate the color here, for example. Oh, that looks like this. Oh, it's not so bad. Then a little bit darker, maybe. Yes, click OK to use that value. And now you can see the color is used here. And now you can also manipulate some other things. As said, sometimes you don't see anything changing, like this, for example. Sometimes it helps when you scroll up and apply again. Yes, there's nothing. The roughness, yes, you can see that it gets, yes, it's almost not visible, and you can leave it in the middle. In-game, nobody will notice that. Normal intensity, yes, changes also a little bit. You just have to play around with these settings a little bit. Sometimes it's also necessary to get another sun angle to see something changing here. But as I said, you have to play around and try out things here. If you are satisfied with the result, go to the top and click apply again, and then save to mod dev. And you can see here source. That is the materials folder. For that I have given you the scene entry, this material path, and you can see that these settings are stored in the file grasslines material JSON now in this folder. You can check that. Here's the folder, assets, materials, and here is the JSON file. So everything is stored and you can leave the dev mode. And now the next time when you open the track, this material, this JSON file with the material settings will be used instead of the material that is stored in the mesh file itself. Yes, that it was. I hope it helps you a little bit. If not, contact me again.